So we'll just settle in. If you need a deep breath to just calm the body, you can try that. And as I said, we're just leaving all thoughts, all ideas, all concerns at the door. We're just taking some time out. The mind will probably still kick in and throw up thoughts and things, but they can wait. Just observe them and let them pass through. Express and pass. This is always effortless observation, so you don't need to force anything to happen. You don't need to force yourself to relax. It's just observing what's going on as it is right now. And just observing the natural breath, travelling in and out of the nose and looking for any sensations that might arise over the skin, inside the nostrils, just the triangle of the nose and top lip. And just with a childlike curiosity, we're just observing any sensations. Can you feel cooler air travelling in the nose? Perhaps a little bit warmer when it exhales. You might notice other sensations in the face. That's okay, but we're just resting the attention on that small area to start with. You don't need to do anything here, it'll do itself. You can't see air, but the sensations of the movement of the air can almost be visualized as it passes over the skin through the nostrils. And as we're going to scan the body, we'll just have a look at what's going on in the body. You take the attention to the top of the head, the crown of the head. And what does it feel like at the crown of the head? Some people say, I don't feel anything. Well, just notice that. Some people feel ants crawling, fullness, pulsation of blood, discomfort, warmth. Doesn't really matter. We're just letting the attention rest gently on the crown of the head and just feeling what it feels like. Just as it is, nothing to change. Once you've just rested your attention there and either felt a sensation or not, just let the attention flow down the body, just like water washing over the body, from the head to the toe and the toes to the head, just over about 15 seconds. We're just observing the body now as it is, and waking up that observation over the body. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a wash of attention down and up the body. You can do it once or twice. It should be just enjoyable. If you need to cough, cough. It's okay. If you feel like coughing and you feel uncomfortable that you have to control it, notice that. And don't do anything with it, just be with it. Just let it express and smoulder, and it'll burn itself out if you don't resist. You might have noticed some gross sensations or raw sensations around the body. It's normal to have a few spots that might be tense or uncomfortable or feeling nice. We're not really fixating on anything here. We're going to do all of the real estate of the body. So you don't have to not pay attention to those areas, but we're just specifically looking at other areas. And those areas will be covered in a body scan, a body sweep anyway. We'll just start at the top of the head and we'll travel down the body, just inch by inch or part by part, whichever feels more natural to you. You can start at the crown of the head again, so you've got some sort of anchor to start. All the while a natural breath, just not changing the breath. You can be slightly aware of the breath being natural. It's the rhythm of life. Travelling down the back of the head. Just feel all the parts to the top of the neck. And the reason we do all parts of the body, we don't want to miss anything necessarily. Doesn't matter if you do, by the way. There's no real strict rules to any of this. But the advice would be, we're just observing the sensations, even subtle sensations on all parts of the body, and being equanimous with what is, being okay with things as they are. We're learning how the body just subconsciously reacts to sensations on the body, and we're just learning to be okay with what is. In your own time, just go down the left side of the head. You can go down the temple. You can do sort of patch by patch. Generally, if you're getting in the habit of this, it's good to sort of do the same routine each time, because then the mind doesn't have to think about it too much. It just goes into its habit pattern of what it does. All the while, it's just like an effortless, curious observation. You can't get this right and you can't get this wrong. And just travel down the right side of the head. You can start at the crown as a refresher for the attention, and then just feel each part of the right side of the head. None of this has to be too hard or concentrated, or you can't get it wrong. It's just a gentle observation. Nothing has to be changed. You don't have to make it more relaxed. You don't have to improve it. It just is as it is, and it's being observed. And you've done the right side of the head. Just take your attention to the forehead. What does it feel like? Generally speaking, we're just kind of scanning in this way the surface of the body, but as you progress, you might find that there's a deeper observation. You might just feel what's happening deep behind the forehead, inside the head. It can feel a little unusual, this. Just whatever happens, whatever it feels like is okay. And just feel the left eyebrow and the left eye socket in the eye. And the right eye. You might never notice that there's a deep sensation that happens around the eyes. And then just in your own time, travel down the left side of the face. Feel all the areas. Just have a bit of fun exploring all the areas of the body. The jaw, the cheek. Just letting it be exactly as it is. If at any time you notice there's tension, you can let go, but you don't need to. It'll take care of itself. In fact, sometimes you can watch a muscle that's contracted and not do anything at all. And over time, it just lets go anyway, without you forcing it or resisting it. And just do the right side of the face. If you have any injuries when you're doing a body scan like this, as you're looking over the body, it's like those areas can be rested on, and you're not trying to do anything with it, but by allowing it to just be completely at ease and express as it is, it can help it. And once again, feeling the nose triangle down to the top lip. Out of curiosity, is it a little bit more sensitive now? Are you noticing sensations a little bit easier now around the nose and the top lip? It doesn't matter if you are or you aren't, but it's just another little leaning into observing. And as I keep saying, you can't get this wrong at all. It just is as it is. And then feeling the lips. Generally speaking, the lips are very sensitive, but they tend to just desensitize because you don't need to see all that sensitivity, but you feel the lips. Let them be alive. And then travel through the mouth, the tongue, the inside of the throat. You can even playfully feel if you can feel your teeth. My feeling on this is that whatever areas you allow to just be as they are, without trying to change them, if there's any tension or trapped energy of contraction in those areas, which generally when we've got an injury we tend to focus on like that, try and protect it. If we can just let that allow itself to be and express and relax, it feels like, in my experience, those areas tend to heal easier. And just feel the whole jaw and the front of the neck. Once again, you can travel the attention over this inch by inch if you like, or you can feel sections, or you can just feel the whole area, whatever works for you, whatever is accessible. Now just notice the whole head. Are there any sensations throughout the whole head? Just allowing it to be exactly as it is, and just observing it as it is. If you find noise intrusive as a hindrance, just notice the impermanence of noise, sound. It's instantaneous and changing, just like everything. Everything is constantly changing. And it's always in this now. And just travelling down the left side of the, you can travel from the ear down the left side of the neck into the left shoulder. And allow your attention to travel down the arm, just part by part, whatever's accessible. Feel under the arm. A natural byproduct of this is there tends to be relaxation, but there doesn't have to be. Just notice what's going on now and just be okay with it as it is. It's like your bodily intelligence will take care of it anyway. You don't need to worry about anything. When you're getting used to this, you might find that you need to just really focus on individual parts until you feel a sensation, any sensation. Something activates and then you move on. But generally speaking, when this gets a little bit, when this lets go and just allows itself to be felt, it becomes a bit easier. But if you need to focus on each individual inch of the body, you can do that until it sort of just learns itself, learns the link. And the right side, you can in your own time go from the ear, down the neck, shoulder, underarm, front and back at the top of the arm, elbow, forearms and hands when you're ready. Always just with a background theme of kindness. Just kindness for whatever's going on. Once you've done the right arm, just take the attention just to the front of the neck and the top of the chest area. Are there any sensations there at all? Subtle or very noticeable, doesn't matter. Just experience the sensations. There's no doing in any of this. If there was a doing, it would just be being okay with things as they are. Words sometimes are limited. Looking at the left side of the chest. And the right side. And just let the attention rest in the heart area. Very complex area of the heart. Are there any sensations that are noticeable at all? And when I sense sensations, they may not be in the mind favourable or unfavourable, they just are what they are, but just notice any sensations in the heart. If any distractions come or thoughts come or anything like this, just notice that as a passing cloud and gently bring the attention back to the chest, the heart. And if any time you really find some thoughts or blockages, if they're just looping and they won't go away, just notice that, sit with it. And then just continue looking at the various areas that you're resting the attention on. It all just like hangs in space. It doesn't need to go anywhere. You're just being okay with everything as it is and as it's appearing. Now just feel the top of the stomach area. Moving across to the left side. And the right side, feeling all parts of the top of the stomach. And then travel down the stomach. You might find the attention goes a bit deeper in this area because there's natural sensations that might be there. A lot of protective instincts are held in the stomach area as sensations. And we're just exploring that. So just explore all parts of the stomach area, all the way down to the base. And maybe allow the attention to go a little deeper. Sensations to be felt even deeper. You can always feel the sensations deeper in the body. It's just that to start with, it's just easier to feel the surface of the body. But at any time you feel deeper sensations, you can just notice those as well. In the specific areas we're looking as we go down the body. It just helps focus the attention. And just travelling down underneath the left arm, the left side of the torso. And the right side of the torso. And then we'll travel down the back. So you can just take the attention to the top of the neck. Travel down the sides of the shoulders. Maybe the left side and then the right side in your own time. And just do all parts of the back down to the base. And also include a pass down the spine. If you just notice behind the head, deep into the spine, feeling the whole spinal column. This is allowing the attention to travel a little bit deeper into the body, just down the spine. And this attention is almost like celebrating each part of the body as well, appreciating the feelings. It's quite a beautiful thing being alive. And the body's doing all these miraculous processes, and this is a little way of just noticing what's going on. This is where a theme of gratitude, just for life even, can be an underlying theme as well. And when you've travelled down the back, you can just travel down the left leg. You can start at the left hip, going the front, the side, inside the hip, and the front of the quadricep, and the hamstring at the back. The muscle on the inside of the leg that I don't know the term for, the outside of the thigh. Did you notice any sensations in the knees, in the knee, the left knee? You can't force yourself to have sensations. It's almost counterintuitive. The more you let go and just allow it to be and notice it, generally the more is felt. So letting go actually increases the feeling, or just seems to happen that way. And all the way down the left calf muscle and the front of the shin. And the left foot. Look at all parts of the foot, the inside of the ankle, the back of the ankle, underneath the foot, the top, between the toes. Just feel all parts of the foot. Always just like a childlike, curious, effortless observation. And then in your own time, we'll go down the right side of the hip and the right leg. Just try to see all parts. Feel all parts. All the way down to the foot in your own time. And when you're doing these sort of meditations, you will find distractions come up around the body. And we're just learning to be okay with things as they are. Sometimes it does take a little bit of, I suppose, focus. Effort's really the wrong word for this. But focused attention and just allowing things to be, maybe letting the reaction or the resistance or you wanting to do something about an itch or an ache or a movement, just observe that. You can use that as something to play with. See what happens if you just don't move. And if there's a bubbling up of energy, of resistance there, just play with that. If it gets too much, you can always just move a little and reset, and then just try again another time. But generally speaking, this isn't always smooth sailing. There's a lot of different sensations and reactions and habits and conditioning that starts to come to the surface from this. Do you ever feel frustration in this meditation because something's not going the way you want it to? Just notice that. That's just a thought. Allow yourself to be frustrated, and then just gently, kindly go back to the meditation. Everything really is okay. Even if it doesn't feel like it for a changing moment. And when you've done the right leg, just roll the attention up the body from the toes to the head. And just appreciate the body. Just allowing it to be exactly as it is. And while you're sitting here, you can just rest the attention on the breath travelling in and out of the nose again as a place to rest attention. And just feel the body as a whole. What does the body feel like overall? If you notice you're fixating on any particular area, just relax that and just look at the body as a whole. It's just allowance for the body to be exactly as it is. Including all reactions. Everything is okay as it is, except when the thinking mind kicks in and says it's not. So just rest openly. And rather than daydreaming, just rest the attention on the natural breath coming in and out of the nose. And allow all those passing sensations and thoughts just to come and go. You're just not hooking into anything right now, it's just watching the breath. All that other stuff is now happening in the background, the body's just aware of itself, sensations are seen. You don't need to do any of that. The intelligence of the body will take care of it. Just rest with the natural breath for a while. Allowing everything else to come up as comfortably or uncomfortably as happens. You might like to just feel the heart area and bring to mind that feeling of love you have for someone. And just let that blossom and balloon. There's just a nice warm sensation in the chest area, heart area. And just let that blossom. You don't need to do anything with it, just let it be like that. A gift to yourself. And when you feel like it, you can just come back to the room, open the eyes in your own time, but you don't need to jump out of this. Just let your eyes rest, gaze on some area and just notice this state. It's like an accepting, open state. And this is always available. Even if you give yourself 1 minute and remember this state, it'll help as a background peaceful place that's always available. Just creates space in the noise sometimes. And thank you all for participating. It's a nice shared space.